Hi, my name is Elizabeth and welcome to my channel. Today's video is a bit of a day in the life of a freelancing single parent, essentially. I'm now freelancing. I freelance part-time because I have a 2-year-old, and Mondays are my busiest days. Today is Monday the 6th of July. I'm going to go through everything that I would do in a typical Monday, work-wise and personal-wise. To show you what my day currently looks like. My day could definitely be better. It could definitely be more productive. It could be more streamlined. Having a 2-year-old does throw a lot of chaos into things. So this morning it's currently, what time does the cooker say? It's 6:24. I tend to try and get up about 6-ish, mainly to try and get a few bits and pieces done around the house that I couldn't do the night before with my daughter. However, my daughter decided to wake up really early this morning, so she's also awake. So my peaceful morning time to myself has been disrupted, which means I'm not going to be able to get things done as I would have wanted. So I'm going to make myself my first coffee of the morning, make myself a coffee for work, and start the day. All right, I'm out of the door. I've got toddler in tow. It is 7:54 and I need to go and do the nursery run and then head to work. Right, nursery run drop off is done. I now need to drive to work. I usually drive the back route through a couple of really pretty villages to get to my client's office. I do know that one of the main roads here has been closed, so I have a horrible feeling that everyone else is going to be going on my very scenic, very wiggly, windy, small roaded route. So it's going to take a bit longer to get to work. I think it is now 8:17. I aim to get there for 8:30, but that is not going to happen today. I was correct, that drive was not pleasant, and I'm a good 15 minutes late to work. Not helped by the fact that there was a coach that was stuck on one of these small lanes, and then a lot of traffic stuck behind there. So anyway, it's now 8:45 and I'm heading to the office. Right, I have finished it for my first client. It's very, very warm. My car is a sauna. It's been sat right in the sunshine. This client, I work from their home, so I can't take any footage, I'm afraid. So I'm going to go back now. It's just gone 1 p.m. So I'm going to go home, have some lunch, and then get started with the next client. Right, client 1 down and lunch down, and it is 10 minutes to 2. So I'm going to get on my second client. My first client this morning, I was doing a lot of data analysis. We just had month end, and they also haven't had much data analysis on their previous year's worth of products and sales. And I really, really enjoy data analysis. I like a good spreadsheet, which is interesting because I'm also really creative, but I do like data and patterns and numbers. So I quite enjoyed that this morning, especially because it was quiet, so I could just sit and create all my tables and pivot tables and everything else. So that's done. And now for my client now, I am working on their bi-weekly newsletter, so something a bit more creative. So I'm going to crack on with that for about an hour or so, and then I need to do some kind of outreach work for other potential clients, trying to find that third client that I can sign up. So I will be doing some of that this afternoon as well. I thought you might like to see what I'm using to try and find my additional third client. This is Upwork, and I tend to go to UK only just to see what's available. You will find crossover in all of these, but when I go to Best Matched and it's set in Indonesia, I mean, the time difference isn't going to be helpful. So I do tend to go to UK only and have a look at what's available. Everything is in dollars. When you're looking at these, you have to firstly use the conversion rate, and then also remember that Upwork will take, I think it's 15% of that from you. So keep that in mind when looking at that. Let me just quickly go through so you can also see how many proposals they've had. It will tell you whether it's hourly, how experienced they want the person to be, and then how long they think the project's going to be. For example, here we've got entry level, budget of $100, and that's for some zero admin. We've got a virtual assistant for social media. They want, plus 30 hours a week. So some of these could be full-time roles. But this is what the back end of it looks like when you're looking for freelance work. Here is also a really good one as an example to keep an eye out for. This is a virtual bookkeeper and cash flow advisor for UK property budgeting and income analysis. There is a reason there have been fewer than 5 proposals. Firstly, the hourly rate is $6 to $10. In the UK, that will not even hit the minimum wage threshold. It won't hit it. They want someone intermediate for that level, and it's for 30 plus hours a week. That is a horrendous fee. Don't look at things like that. Do not apply for them, because if you do apply for them and you get them, A, you'll resent the work, and B, it encourages more people to try and get a lot of labour for very, very cheap money. Bearing in mind, this person has an awful lot of wants and needs in this description. And I need a systematic professional who'll keep my records clean, track my live personal burn rate. You need to have an awful lot of experience to be paid $6 to $10 an hour. So they are verified, but they've clearly never used a client before on Upwork, because they've got nothing at the bottom here to say that they have worked with freelancers before. They are obviously UK based, but this is an awful lot of wants and needs for an intermediate person at a very, very low rate. So keep away from these. Don't apply for them. Know your worth, because otherwise these sites, as it is currently happening, is a race to the bottom of who can give the most amount of work for the least amount of pay. So I spent a good amount of time having a look through Upwork for any jobs available. There was nothing that was suitable, whether it being budget-wise or availability-wise. I did get an invitation to interview offer, which is when somebody is putting up a job and then they manually search for freelancers. They've seen my profile, thought I was a good fit, and have asked me to interview for it. Unfortunately, they need someone available 4 days a week, and I can't do that because I can only work 3 days a week. So I had to decline that. There was nothing else available on Upwork that I could see. I've had a quick look on LinkedIn as well. So nothing today, but again, I will have another look later in the week and just keep plodding along until I secure that third client. Okay, it is now 4:35, which means I have got 55 minutes before I go and collect my daughter. So I'm going to tidy up a few bits at home that I couldn't do this morning, do the washing up, there's a few bits of pieces out in the garden I'm going to try and do. There's a couple of pot plants that I want to attempt to pot. Don't know if I'm going to have time to do that, to be quite honest, but wishful thinking here. Try and get as many little tasks done before I walk to nursery and collect her. And then at 6 p.m. this evening, I have a meeting with a couple of friends. We're working on a business idea at the moment. We're having a meeting every 2 weeks and trying to progress this business idea. I will give you more information on this if it goes anywhere. But for the moment, it is very much theoretical, and we're working through it. There's 3 of us in total. And yes, then we'll go into the evening. So now it's a case of how many tasks can I get done in the next 55 minutes before I do the nursery run. It is now 5:25, which means I am heading out to get my daughter from nursery, and luckily I can walk in the mornings because I haven't got to be anywhere. Well, I do have to be somewhere. I've got a meeting at 6, but I've got plenty of time to get back for that meeting, whereas in the mornings I have to drive straight to the nursery and then carry on to work from there. I am back with 2 minutes to spare for my 6 o'clock meeting, which I'm just about to join, and I don't know how long the meeting's going to go on for. It's now 8:17 in the evening. My meeting did go on for about 2 hours. My parents also dropped in midway through the meeting, which wasn't expected, and my daughter was just pure chaos, as a 2-year-old is during a meeting. Luckily, it's with friends, so it really doesn't matter too much. But I am now in my pyjamas. I'm going to cook myself some dinner. My daughter had dinner at nursery, so she's sorted and she'll be going to bed soon, hopefully, fingers crossed. And I'm going to feed myself and then wind down for my evening. It is now about 9:15. My daughter's asleep and I'm sat out in the garden just enjoying the temperature being a lot lower. I'm going to sit and do a bit of knitting and then just wind down, ready for bed to start the whole thing again tomorrow.